Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on stratification and differentiation. In this video we're going to look at the different definitions of social mobility. Social mobility refers to the movement of individuals or groups within the social hierarchy. This movement can be upward or downward and is often measured in terms of changes in income, education and occupation. Understanding social mobility is crucial for assessing the fairness and openness of a society. In this video, we're going to look at different definitions of social mobility and the methodological issues that are involved in studying it. There are a number of different types of social mobility that sociologists are concerned with. First of all, there is absolute mobility. This refers to the overall changes in the occupational structure that allow individuals to move up or down the social ladder. For example, if a country's economy grows and creates more high-paying jobs, many individuals might experience upward mobility. A second form of social mobility is relative mobility. This concerns the relative chances of individuals from different social backgrounds moving up or down the social hierarchy. It measures whether an individual's social status is more influenced by their background or by their abilities and efforts. A third form of social mobility is intergenerational mobility, and this examines the changes in social status between generations within a family. For example, comparing the occupational status of parents and their children. A final form of social mobility is intragenerational mobility, and this looks at the changes in an individual's social status throughout their own lifetime. For example, someone starting their career in a low-paying job and advancing to a higher-paying position later in life. There are key concepts to consider when looking at social mobility, the first of which is meritocracy. Meritocracy is a system where individual success is based on their abilities and efforts rather than their social background. And it's important in discussions of social mobility as it implies that everyone has equal opportunities to succeed. Functionalist sociologists would argue that society is meritocratic and everybody has the opportunity to succeed based upon their own abilities. Another key feature is equality of opportunity. And this is the idea that all individuals should have the same chances to pursue their goals, irrespective of their social origins, and this is essential for achieving high levels of social mobility. More critical theorists, such as feminists and Marxists, would suggest that equality of opportunity is limited in society, with an individual's social class or gender influencing their ability to obtain social mobility. There are also methodological issues with studying social mobility. There are many changes in the ways in which data is collected. For example, most social mobility studies use longitudinal data because it is necessary to track individuals over time to study intergenerational and intragenerational mobility. Longitudinal studies are resource intensive and require a long-term commitment, with many lasting decades before results can be found. Another issue is that they use retrospective data. They're often collected by asking individuals to recall information about their parents' occupations or their own past jobs, and this can be subject to recall bias and inaccuracies. The nature of social class is also highly subjective, and individuals may define their social class as being different than researchers would. There are a number of different ways in which social mobility is measured. First of all, through occupational class schemes. This is one of the more common methods to categorize individual social status based upon their occupation, and examples include the Erickson-Goldthorpe-Porticaro class scheme, as well as the Hope-Goldthorpe class scheme. These schemes can vary in complexity and the level of detail that they provide. Another approach is to measure social mobility by changes in income or earnings across generations. This provides a more direct economic measure of mobility, but can miss other aspects of social status, such as social and cultural capital. A final way is to look at educational achievement. Educational achievements are often used as a measure of social mobility. Higher levels of education are generally associated with higher occupational status and income. However, this is not always the case, with many students who've earned higher education degrees working in occupations that may be perceived as working class. There are numerous challenges to conducting research into social mobility, including selection bias. Studies on social mobility can be affected by selection bias if the sample is not representative of the broader population. For example, if only higher income families are included, the results may not reflect the true mobility patterns. There are also issues of measurement error. These are errors in measuring key variables like income, occupation, or education, and this can affect the accuracy of mobility studies. Sociologists need to ensure reliable and valid measurements of these variables in order for their findings to be seen as such. A final challenge is that of cultural and contextual differences. Social mobility studies conducted in different countries or cultural contexts may not be directly comparable. Variations in social structures, economic conditions, and educational systems can influence patterns of mobility in many different nations. Defining and studying social mobility involves understanding complex interactions between individuals' abilities, their educational attainment, and structural factors. Methodological issues such as data collection challenges and measurement errors need to be carefully addressed to obtain accurate insights. Empirical findings and theoretical perspectives might provide a more nuanced view of how social mobility operates in different contexts, and these can inform policies to tackle inequalities in society through enhancing education, reducing economic inequality, and supporting disadvantaged groups to promote social mobility and achieve a more equitable society. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video on stratification and differentiation, looking at definitions of social mobility. Thanks for watching.